All of you are here. You must be wondering, na, why I'm so sad? Well, students, I plan to travel to distant places, but due to these COVID days, I changed my plan as it is absolutely unsafe to travel. But yeah, since all of you are here, we can at least talk about the mode of transport that I have to choose for my journey. And how can I forget? Our next chapter is travel and communication. So we can easily talk about it, right? And at the end of this video, I'll tell you what mode of transport I chose for my journey. So let's start the chapter. Chapter 10, Travel and Communication. The world we know today is very different to the one that existed 50 years ago, and even more so than 150 years ago. The way we travel and communicate have completely changed due to technology, and a lot of work we can do today was not possible in the past. We are able to travel further and communicate faster than ever before. We use transport every single day, whether it's by car, bus, train, ferry, plane, animals, or even our own 2 feet. Transport helps us move from one place to another. This type of transport we take usually depends on where we are going, the distance time it will take to reach, as well as the options available to us. Our cities, towns, and villages are all connected by roads. Roads have existed for thousands of years, but the kinds of transport available to us now allow us to travel much faster than back then. Cars, motorcycles, buses, trucks, and trains transport goods such as food and building materials, as well as us. The best way to travel really long distances is by air. Aeroplanes allow us to travel across countries easily and quickly, while small helicopters can help in emergencies and rescue operations like bushfires, forest fires, floods, or earthquakes. Traveling by water used to be very common before planes. People used to travel to other countries using boats, which would sail for months at a time. Now, sail transport is mostly used for enjoyment, such as cruise boats and yachts, or for trade, such as cargo ships and oil tankers. Just as transport is a major part of everyday life, so is communication. Sharing information, messages, ideas, and feelings with other people can be done through many different methods. Some are more old fashioned while some are new modern, but each method serves a purpose. Let's look at some. We can use mail to send written letters and parcels to friends and family around the world. This method can take days or weeks to arrive at the destination, but is still a common method of communicating. Telephones are one of the fastest means of communication, invented 150 years ago. The telephone can connect people in seconds, even if they are in two different sides of the world. Mobile phones are a new year invention, which also allow SMS, text messaging, photo sharing, video calling, internet browsing. The list goes on. Speaking of the internet, it was invented almost 30 years ago and has changed the way we communicate. We can send messages, read information, listen to music, watch videos, and so much more. With so many different things to do on the internet, it's almost impossible to imagine what life would be like without it. Now, those are all great ways to communicate with one or a few people. But sometimes we need to get a message across lots of people. How can we do that? Well, we can use services such as radio, television, newspaper, and magazines to help us get information and news across to much bigger audiences. Transport and communication have changed significantly over time and continue to get faster and better. Can you imagine what life was like before all of the technology we use today was invented? What do you think life would be like in the next 100 years? Students, it's time to study more about these transports so that we can understand them better. Okay, let's start with land travel or land transport. Land transport or land travel is the transport or movement of people, animals, or goods from one location to another location on land. The two main forms of land transport can be considered to be rail transport and road transport. So students, this is divided into sections. Let me tell you. Human powered transportation. What is human powered transportation? Human powered transportation, a form of sustainable transportation, is the transport of people and goods or people or goods using human muscle power in the form of walking, running, and swimming. Now, the animal powered transportation. Animal powered transport is the use of working animals for the movement of people and goods. Humans may ride some of the animals directly, use them as pack animals for carrying goods, or harness them alone or in teams to pull wheeled vehicles. Road transportation or road travel. Students, road transport offers a complete freedom to road users to transfer the vehicle from one lane to the other and from one road to another according to the need and convenience. Road transportation includes buses, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, and pedestrians. Now, rail travel or rail transportation. Rail transport is where a train runs along a set of two parallel steel rails, known as a railway or railroad. Rail transport is a means of transferring passengers and goods. In contrast to road transport, where the vehicles run on a prepared flat surface, rail vehicles are directionally guided by the tracks on which they run. Now, water travel or water transport. We use boats, ships, yachts, liners, and streamers to travel on water. Students, do you know what are liners? Let me tell you. Large ships which carry passengers. Okay? A ferry carries passengers across a river or a short sea route. Ships which carry large quantities of goods are called cargo ships. Okay? Oil tankers carry oil and petrol. Special ships called cruise ships carry passengers across the sea from one country to another. It is a large ship that carries passengers who are traveling for pleasure. Air travel is a form of travel in vehicles such as helicopters, hot air balloons, blimps, gliders, aeroplanes, or anything else that can sustain flight. Use of air travel has greatly increased in recent decades. Worldwide, it doubled between the mid 1980s and the year 2000. Modern air travel is much safer than road travel. And as we all know, it is the fastest way to travel. We can travel to any part of the world in a few hours. Aeroplanes and helicopters are the most popular means of air travel. All major cities in India have airports. Cargo aircraft carry goods to different cities and countries. Helicopters are smaller than aeroplanes and only a few people can travel in it. As I told earlier, students, they are mainly used for providing help in areas affected by floods, earthquakes. Hey students, thank you so much for bringing a smile on my face. We discussed a lot about travel and communication as well, right? And you know what mode of transport I chose for my journey? Well, I want to go to overseas. That's why I chose air travel as it is the fastest means of transport, right? And for communication, I'll use the internet. All right, students, all of you take extra care of yourselves.